Why are we talking about ESG and GPI now? Because there are two sides. Okay, when I move this one, it will move, right? So there are two sides of the coins, but they are the same, okay? ESG is a broad strategy or framework, and GPI is the physical and practical localized tool, is a tool to achieve the built environment. So the ESG benefit on the left, you look at what is a strong ESG framework, that's for our state. It attracts international investors who now mandate ESG compliant. It reduces climate risk, enhances corporate reputation, and creates high value green jobs. As for GPI on the left, it tackles the operational reality. So it slashes energy and water bills. So reduces environmental impact during construction and improves indoor environmental quality. So which directly translate to healthy and more productive people. So by integrating the both ESG and GPI, we hit the target for the Sabah's future: economic growth, environmental protection, and social well-being. Now, please imagine, this is a perfect contrast. Kota Kinabalu. Looks like Kota Kinabalu. So since all my photo is all GPI, no, GPI, this AI generated by Germany, okay, Gemini. So please take note. So when you go there, you can ask them to do something. But always remember, garbage in, garbage out. So you don't trust AI all the way, okay? He can help you, but not, be more sensible, okay? Right, so when I say Kota Kinabalu, if somebody say, does it look like Kota Kinabalu? It does, but now Kota Kinabalu look a bit better, right? Okay, so on the left is a traditional path. So it actually called short-term gain, but long-term pain. So the congestion, pollution, smoke, depletion of the resources are simply unsustainable. So I think the congestion is really bad. The traffic jam in KK is really bad. I'm not sure how to solve. Probably can. It cannot be not solving. We have to do something ourselves. Okay. So on the right is the ESG and GPI kind of vision. So it's not so much of a science fiction, but it's entirely achievable. So we can integrate renewable energy, clean public transport. Talking about public transport, we need to improve it very much. So green architecture and the preserve coastline. But of course, when you talk about wind turbine on the rooftop, I'm not sure for Kota Kinabalu, okay? Because I remember we don't have constant wind. You must have constant wind and always have it. If not, you don't have wind turbine. So I hope everything is okay for those that we did for Kuta area, right, coastline. The wind turbine, I hope it's all right. I'm not too sure whether it works or not. So the question isn't whether we should make this transition from left to the right, but now how fast we can do it. This is very important. So in order for us to remain competitive and livable, we don't want it to remain in the ancient, even though we want to preserve natural. But natural doesn't mean ancient. Always remember, okay? So we can still have a good life together. We want to live a good life, isn't it? We want it real, right? So this person is me. It's a bit blur. The AI cannot generate anymore. Okay? So I'm actually a chairperson of Malaysia Green Building Council. So green building is talking about green building and also green development. How do we do it, you see? Right? So I also work part of Water Engineer Malaysia. Some of you have heard it. Water Engineer Malaysia is the one that policing all the engineers in Malaysia. So I'm in the working group on ESG. So we are trying to come up with some guideline for consultant, because we are controlling the consultant, engineering consultant. So we're coming out very soon. By this year, we should come out something, okay? Right, and then I'm also a founder of eConsult and IJV Consult, Sendian Berhad. So when you look at down there, you see that I'm an ESG innovation consultant. Why innovation? Have you ever thought of it? I realize come to this state that we cannot do the way we do it before. Our things, the way we did it before, we had to change. We cannot be doing even the old method in terms of construction. I'm from the construction line, but still, it's not that, you know, the old way of concreting, the old way of bricks, the old way of construction will be all right. So now we have to move on to innovation. Why don't we mix? I mean, we have so much of plastic all over. Plastic into our concrete or into bricks. We call it eco bricks. We can do something like that. Testing is not a difficulty. We already have CIDB lab here, so we can send for testing. It's not a problem. So what I'm trying to say is we have to do things differently in order to move forward. Okay, we have so much of waste. Let's turn the waste into something useful. Okay, we cannot keep going to the beach and collect the rubbish. What happened to all the rubbish? Have you ever thought of that? I remember some my friends always every few weeks go and collect, you know, the rubbish in the beach. So I didn't ask them, after that, what do you do? It's still rubbish, right? Are you able to segregate it? Are you able to find out? Because some in Peninsula, they find out what type of things inside. They segregate the rubbish. What type of plastic was there? What type of things? Then you realize what people throw. But of course, in our beach, it's not just from us. It's also from our neighbor. But majority is from us at this moment. Far, far away is from the neighbor, okay? So I look at sustainability not as an abstract philosophy concept, but also through the lens of engineering, because I'm an engineer, reality, regulatory, compliance, and bottom line viability. So I believe that time has come that we have to do something different. I remember a few weeks ago, I'm in the construction week by CIDB. I'm talking about innovation, talking about in Pulau Kaya. Have you seen the Pulau Kaya eco paver? They use the marine plastic and then to combine and make a paver. So this one got the United Nations Island Award. Okay, so we have to do something like that. We can do something. It's actually low tech, but it's good. It's good for us, right? You do something, you know. Okay, so something I talked to the CIDB CEO. He came from KL. He's from Sarawak. So I talked to him that now we have to do something different. Innovation, we have to do something different from the past. So CIDB had to support, you see. But unfortunately, when I asked him, he said that if you want to do research, you must have money. It's a CIDB have money. This one had to cut. What I say? Yeah. Sometimes you find it strange that they have millions of dollars, and I had to come up with the money to go for testing. Why can't they join with us, right? We are the normal people here. We come up with innovation. Then you do research for us, and it's good for the country, right? Okay. Next. So this one is a little bit confusing, especially SDG and ESG, right? There I saw the SDG. Okay. Do you find that there's confusion between SDG and ESG? Anybody? Confused or not? Yeah, because everybody heard about SDG, you see. But remember, SDG is a global blueprint here on the left-hand side. So it's sustainable development goal. So it's primary for the government, for the nation, it's a goal. So the purpose is to have a sustainable future for all. Okay, and even though the plan is around 2030, right? But they did extend it. So you find that global goals are not easy to achieve. You must have something, see? So there are 17 global goals. So SDG got 17 of them, like eradication of poverty, you know, education and all this, gender equality. So 17 of them. So they come to ESG, okay, even though S and G looks the same alphabet, but they are completely different. ESG is environmental, social, and governance. Here, it talks about primary audience is for corporation, investor, regulators. But remember, all these people are made up of, all these companies are made up of people, right? You and I. So actually ESG is everybody. It is us that we are supposed to do something. It's not that way for the company. We work for the company. Without human being, without us, the company cannot survive. Investor cannot go on, you see? Right. So that was important for us. And then it's most of the time it talk about it's a measurement. ESG is a measurement. It's a measurement or a roadmap to find out whether how good is the company or the society is, you see. So for us, so if the company is good, if the investor is good, if everybody, corporate is good, we are good too, right? They are the one building our house. They are the one building the road. They are the one to provide all the food, the canned food or any food, or in the businesses. They are all there. Actually, not only there, it's we are there, you see. So it is us. So government used SDG to set the vision. So corporation or company or industrial like us use ESG to execute it. So it's the roadmap. So something that we do, okay? Now, what is ESG? ESG got 3 pillars, okay? The first one you see is on the left-hand side is E, environment. The middle one is social, and the third one is governance. So what is this environment? So this is about planet and resources, the resources that we have, okay? So are we preserving biodiversity? So are we transition from our present life to a low carbon renewable energy now? Are we efficiently do waste and water? You realize talking about waste, sometimes you look at our sewerage is in trouble, right? A lot of waste and then schedule waste and all this. I actually do not understand why the Ministry of Tourism is and environment actually had to take care of schedule waste. You know? Never know, you don't know. So now the new portfolio for the Ministry of Tourism is actually an environment. So when they come about environment, is anything to do with environment, probably ESG and all these things also come in. So you realize that a lot of ministry is cross. You cannot just stand alone by yourself. So, but schedule waste, this year, Sabah have carried back schedule waste for ourselves. Okay, last time we don't have schedule waste, this law here, and we don't have the industrial, but now we are trying to get. So the ministry is trying to form, I think 9 kind of a subject or topic to do the schedule waste. So we see how it come out. But of course, you ask me is, I don't understand how Ministry of Tourism be the expert. So we need all of you, okay? All of you to help. Please take note, they really do not know, okay? Yeah. So it talk about what is social. Social is about people and the community. Not just CSR. Everybody know what CSR, right? And the company are the one always do CSR, clean the beach, help the orphanage, all this. But this S is more than just CSR. So you talk about people, community. It's talking about fair labor practices. Fair labor practices. This is in the company, right? So also talk about site safety. So when you work, people work on the site. It's important. What is the site safety, and also how project impact the development as of the local community. You know, local communities' voice had to come in. You cannot, a developer cannot just simply get the land and bulldoze everything, see, without talking to the local community, because now there's a regulation come out. Okay, so you have to talk to the local authority, community now. Okay, then the last one talking about governance. Governance is about trust and also integrity. So who is on the board? Who is the bosses? You know, is there transparency, anti-corruption? So anti-corruption do come in, you see. You need to come in and do transparency. If you come to think about it, we are now all worried about e-invoice. Did you heard about e-invoice in the company? Also worry, you see. Why? Why the government wants to set e-invoice? Of course, in a way, is You think that it's trying to catch us? No, I think it's trying to find out if e-invoice come in, your cents are even the last dot cent, you know that way it goes to, see? So this one is very important. Digitalization and also e-invoice is part of this governance, see? So these are very important things. So let's look into how these three pillars specifically in the context of Sabah, okay? Now, here, I think Sabah have a unique position. We are in a very unique position where it comes to the environment. In ESG, Sabah is sitting on the gold mine of natural capital. True or not? I mean, you are in the Sabah society, so you are more into nature, history, right? So we, probably we used to be in a gold mine, nature gold mine. Okay, probably there is a more better word, but it's still compared to a lot of people, we still have the gold mine of the natural capital, see? Our rainforest, mangrove, and also marine ecosystem are globally renowned. So everybody want to come to this North Borneo, okay? Look at the orangutan. I'm not sure about looking at our elephants. Because elephants have died so much, so they are so worried, okay? Yeah. So at the flora and fauna, talking about flora and fauna, a few weeks ago, this Sabah Herbal Grower Association came and see me. So I was wondering how Sabah Grower Association come to a Malaysia Green Building Council. For us, we are talking about green building, but we also talk about green development. So we also encourage all the things that is green. Come to talk to us. Who knows? We can adopt it into a green building. They did mention about they lost a lot of special flora or fauna from the jungle because people from outside came into our jungle and steal. So I'm not too sure our custom department managed to catch anybody, or they probably don't know. I remember plant cannot simply take in and out, right? But I think,
Not true.
Yeah. So but how come the thing? Oh, our special rare flower, rare fauna, and left smarter into the back, fly back. So we have to be careful. So we have to protect what is ours. Protect is one thing So I have mentioned to them is you have to record. You have to have a record of all the things that you know. And not all these special flora, fauna that you have because they are herbs, you see. But don't just record, also sell out information, correct, probably Facebook, that platform that people can learn what is this one for, or Sabah got many different type of ginger. So got red ginger, right? And then all this, then there are different places. All these things, what is there for? It is medicine, you see. And they were saying that other people took it and then bring back to their country and grow. I think it's a bit difficult, to stop all the things. But we will talk about collaboration. Probably support society to come in. I don't know. Probably this one you have to come in for all these herbal growers. They have a big problem, you see. They don't know what to grow on, and then many want to give up already, you see. And because they are small, each one have a small pieces of growing, see, okay. Then what is the risk now when you talk about our environment? So this means that the industrial and the construction industry, they must face a higher scrutiny, you see. So protecting our biodiversity and also preventing soil erosion. You see a lot of work have done, and then even the roadside. So all this soil erosion had come in. So, and then it come into the river, clog up our river, and all the fishes and all this in the river will die, So these are the things that we have to be careful. So in order for us, for Sabah to maintain a carbon sink, it is not easy. We have a lot of carbon here, right? That is why the carbon trading is started here, okay? So it's important our environment to be maintained. If not, we are going to lose it. We are losing all the credit rating, okay? We don't want to lose it. Somebody say that our North Borneo is the last virgin jungle left. You agree or not?
Yes.
Eh? Okay. You have an advocate here. Yes. The rest of you not sure because all you know is when you fly over to Santakan, you look down, all the forest is like pictures of yellow earth. A lot of trees have been cut down and all this, and the soil erosion is everywhere. Okay, all right. Let's continue. So the S are social in action. The social pillar now in Sabah is deeply linked to our community fabric. Okay, so first it means that respecting FPIC. Have you heard of it? FPIC, free, prior, and informed consent. Is this regulation here? So it's talking about indigenous land right also. So we had to, the developer had to talk to the local community. So the major infrastructure and agricultural project must engage constructively with our native communities. This native community is the one that owns the land, you see. You know, of course, nobody want to have simply just a road cutting through their land, through the backyard, the kebun and all this, right? The paddy field, you know. So these are the things that they want to know, you know. The developer need to do something, see? Need to help the community. If not, the community have lost up so much. Then the second one is talking about labor standard. So it means that Sabah must have fair employment. So in the construction and industrial sectors, we must guarantee dignity. Strict site safety. So really unfortunately, many times that we realize that construction site have a lot of fatality, so it's not good. So we had to really stop this one. Okay. So and then we must give fair wages. If it's so low, nobody wants to go. I remember a lot of construction site want to get safety officer, safety and health officer (SHO), and they cannot get. Why? Because the pay is very low. Okay, this one maybe I had to cut. But it is true, you see. You see, they are in charge of the whole project safety, you know. Then you are paying them so low. Even they themselves have very low pay. It's not fair, you see, isn't it? So we cannot say that overseas people are being paid high because they value human life. And we want to value human life. But if not, it comes to a stage that nobody work for you. Probably Sabah had to really go for robotic really very fast. Okay, don't be surprised. Then we talk about G, the governance. The governance in action. Governance is a steering wheel of the entire operation. So without it, environment E and social S will fall apart. You agree or not? If the governance is not there, it's not strong, no point to talk about E and no more to talk about S. And most of the time we are talk about environment, we care so much about it. If the corporation or even the government was not strong on it, what we say is wasting time, right? So times for us to have a good governance. I'm talking about governance, not government, okay? But government can be strong, very important for the people, okay? So anti-corruption is a must here. So it is require a protocol. It had to be transparent procurement and clear compliance tracking. You must be able to track. That is why your e-invoice come in, you see, where the money go through. Even you want to fake it, but that person who get it also need to find out more, see, how to do that, okay? So the ripple effect, when the decisions are made with strong governance, so it builds an immense trust. And investor feels secure to put money. It's hard to have investor to come to Sabah because they all were already also, see? I think a lot of China investors would like to come in also, right? But why they can't get in? Because there's a lot of red tape, a lot of things that is not sure. Okay? So we had to do something about it. So in order for the investor to be secure, if you have ESG compliant, they are more secure. Actually, that is why why Malaysia had to push ESG, you see, so that the investor can come and feel for safe, you see. And of course, when we all talk about anti-corruption. I believe other countries also talk about anti-corruption. I'm not too sure, is it? So other countries also, see, but Malaysia had to emphasize is because too many news, bad news have already happened, and involve so much of money. It's not small money, not 1 or 2 million, it's billion dollar. So it's something that we have to think about. So which investor would like to come if it's like that? Okay, so it's important. Now, we'll talk about the financial reality now. So if you have a global consequences of this, the investment. On the left-hand side, you realize that regions with low ESG score, so high environmental degradation and poor governance are increasing flagged as high risk. So the red one. Okay, of course, it looks like this one is one-sided. It looks like Western country are all the red one. Okay, and the Asia part are all the green one. Okay, so capital is actually flowing out of these sectors, the red zone. So for capital to come in is in the green zone. So low risk, resilient regions with high ESG scores and certified green building portfolio, so attracting massive global investment capital. You realize that in Peninsula, actually, the green building are really coming up because of the government also pushing it. Okay, so if Sabah wants to attract top-tier global funds and premium developers, we must prove our resilience through high ESG metric. Okay, you must prove ourselves because in every state also in competition, we cannot just say Peninsula have more. Of course, it's easier for them to get, but for Sabah, we have to be equally competitive. You see? And you realize that our neighbor Sarawak is very strong. It's coming out very, very strong. See, when I was there, they are like, whether they know how to do or not, they still push the government. Very clever. So when they push more and they spend the money, people will be educated, will be resilient, will know what to do in times to come. See, definitely. See? Okay. Now, as we talk about GBI and the normal, you look at this one. The broad ESG is more onto a practical tool, using a practical tool. So we go it GBI through a green building. So in Malaysia, green building is not a conventional building with a few potted plants. A lot of people say, okay, green building. So they paint their building green. Paint their building green is not green building, even though the color is green. Okay? Also, you talk about golf course, it's green, but it's not really green. Okay? Environmental friendly. You should have seen some of the golf course that when you drive to, you see some birds die on the golf course. Why? Why they die on the golf course? Because of the insecticide that they spray, you see? They're killing the birds. You don't know, you should drive around. Okay? Yeah, Sabah society should do something, okay? To do this one. Because definitely golf course is not exactly, it depends on what you use, okay? Whatever that you do, okay? All right. Then, we would like, it's not a dream that we can have it, to be such a green building, okay? Now, what is green buildings? We talk about GBI, Green Building Index is a tool for green buildings. Then what is a green building stand, okay? On the left-hand side, you realize this is JKR building in KL. Have you been there, JKR building? JKR building itself is a GBI rated. So it's a platinum. They achieved the platinum, okay, with all the 6 criteria. So GBI is a Malaysia's industrial recognized independent rating tools. Please take note, GBI is not the only rating tools in Malaysia, but it's a very prominent one, okay, because they started with it. Here in Malaysia also, they have Green RE, And when they start before GBI, they have this from UK, like Leeds, LADS. Okay, Leeds is not the Universal Leeds. It's the name for the green building rating. So they got other things, you see. So Malaysia generally adopting GBI is because it's special adopt for our weather. Okay, very adopt our weather. Okay, for the heat islands and all this. Okay, because of tropical sun. Okay. Now, how GBI work? How the green building index work? So look at the mechanism here, the concept. So they have a scale. Okay, a building earns points. They have points. They have six particular departments that you need to assess. So these are the bottom six. Okay, there are 6 of them. So they assess the energy efficiency, water efficiency, indoor environment, sustainable site, materials, resources, and innovation. Okay, these 6 criteria they will assess, and they will go to the building and score it. Okay, so how many, by a GBI facilitator. So once you do it, but you must know that you must achieve it. If not, you don't have. The other thing is you must know that you must have data. Everything is in data, okay? So other than that is your scale, they have different scale. Okay, you certify is ngam pass. When I say certify is ngam pass. For some of them especially, they really want to be a GPI certified, and they already built the buildings, and then they don't want to spend a lot of money. I say, let's go to ngam certify first. You don't think that you are all the way to silver, gold, and platinum. You know, so difficult. You really have to use all these 6 criteria must be all there. If not, you can't. You see, you can't score that much. Okay, so this is how it works. The metric itself, that's how it works. Okay, so you realize that the GPI certified buildings compared to uncertified, so they will drop. The certified building will drop the energy use 30 to 50%. That's a lot of energy use. How much you don't use this office often, right? Sabah Society, you don't use this office often. How much you? Can I ask how much you use electricity per month? Not much. Okay, because you only on this, on that. That one is not on, I think. Only this one. So, okay. So if I tell you, if a building wants to be achieving some high standard, sometimes 10,000, 20,000 is quite a lot, right? You want to bring down the cost. And now, do you notice that your electricity bill is more expensive now? Yeah. Okay. Why? Because of all other things that add on that we have to do. So take note that these are the few criteria that we do. Water. Why don't we want energy efficiency? Because we want to have low electricity bill. Okay. What else you can have low electricity bill? You must have renewable energy, wind turbine, solar panel, change your light bulb. I think this is energy saving, right? Light bulb. Okay. These are the things that you do, but because you are only one office, if the whole building, that's a lot of money, right? Imagine now you only have 100 something in that small space. If this whole row, how many? There's a lot of money, you see. Okay. So normally, if those with the complexes, there's a lot of money, and also hotel. There's a lot of money. There's a lot, you see. And you cannot get it. Probably it's more from now on. Okay. And the water bill, I mean, unfortunately, Sabah also sometimes no water. You have to buy water, right? Now it's okay. Fortunately, our water is very cheap, right? Yeah. Because it's so cheap that somebody say must put it higher. Then we'll save water. You believe that we use a lot of water, no? I mean, I don't know how averagely, probably most of when they do the statistic, most probably because 50% of water have lost, they say, and they blame it to us. We don't use that much lah. I think we do use that much. Okay, then why buildings better? Okay, why we target the buildings? Because you know why? The buildings are the resource monster. They are the one that responsible for 40% of the energy. 40% is a lot, the global energy, and 30% of the potable water use. A lot of 30%. Probably in Sabah, they claim that we use 50% or 60%. And then a lot of waste. So building is the one. Why they have the green building is like that, okay? So the GPI solution is, okay, here, all this. So we want to save the energy up to 30% or 50% more, okay? Water recycling. Why can't we use, why can't we harvest rainwater? You find that Sabah don't harvest rainwater a lot,
Kampong, yes.
Kampong got no choice, all the while they don't have water, see? But in the Kampong, all the while they're using rainwater or river water, see? Okay? But how? But why don't we do that?
Water treatment. You need water treatment to provide gas.
Okay, so let's say your water is not to use to drink. You don't need that treatment, you just need filtration. Understand my what? You just need filtration. You don't need to water your plant with potable water. You don't need to wash your car with potable water. Right? You don't need to wash your floor or toilet with potable water. The only thing is you need to drink with clean water. How much we drink compared to how much we wash our car, the floor, water the plant, right? We don't have much, right? Do we drink that much of water? Okay, and then when I was in Cebu, actually 2 weeks ago, so they are trying to sell me the atmosphere air to water machine. You know, you don't need, you just plug in, as long as there's a current water, it's electricity, they can generate from atmosphere into water for you. It's a pure water very good it's filtrated. So you can drink, or do something, but better boil okay. Yeah, these are the things. So you think that our kampong need water? Of course, we all need water in everything, you see. So even though they talk about solar, they also need water to clean some of the things, So it's, and a lot of things that we don't have in the kampong is water. You'll be surprised, and we are flooding everywhere, and there are certain places there's no water even for drink. And then somebody was saying like, water everywhere, not a drop for me to drink. So you will find that you are flooding, water flooding, you realize you got no electricity also. True? Simple. Because your pump and all this also not working. No. So, and then where the electricity come from? Your hydro gone also, yeah? Okay. So isn't it just an environmental victory? It's an operation cost slashing strategy for the owner, okay? Now the key concept. To summarize the relationship, GPI is an official metric for green building in Malaysia. I mean, not the only metric, it's an official one, okay? So it's our national rating standard, widely adopted by both private developer and official government. If you talk to government sector, you realize they all heard about GPI, even though they don't know what is it. They might know that, oh, green building, GPI, how to do, don't know. Okay? So the comparison as we build the GPI standard, we see a massive shift from a normal standard, building standard, and reduce the energy cost to 30%, reduction in minimum 30% in water consumption, and over 30% in the long-term operation and maintenance. So of course, when you first install GPI and all this, definitely you have to pay money, because you are not subscribing to the original design. a GPI design or a green design. Okay, right. So finally, we connect the dots. Okay, so as we draw to a closer, let's tie it all together. So the equation, so when you take the high level ESG and combine with a practical localized GPI, then the result will be a resilient Sabah. Okay. So for us, ladies and gentlemen, ESG and GPI are not optional trends. Okay, they are the essential tools required to secure our Sabah future. It's our future. Okay. So the balance is they allow us to build an economic powerhouse state without sacrificing the natural heart of Borneo. Okay, important. So let us move forward from this room, not just with the compliance in mind, but with a vision to build a sustainable, resilient, and prosperous Sabah for generations to come. And thank you very much. A